What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. I lost a lot of weight. That's what I did. I got teeth surgery.
Let me see them pearly whites.
Yeah, see, look at this. I mean, you'd think that they would have done like a better job since I paid top dollar. But I couldn't complain, with all of the weight that I lost during it. It was a really useful. It was a really useful surgery. I'm very proud.
Yeah, you look.
Not me. I didn't do anything, but of the surgeons.
You look fantastic.
Job. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Me, Ellis. Yeah. I think you look fantastic now.
That's
so the
great.
Real mystery here is.
Yeah. What happened to Jacob?
Where is Jacob at?
Where is that Jacob boy? Is he late? Is he not showing up today? Is that guy slacking off?
Yeah, I think he's just not going to show up today. How long do you think you can keep that up? Do you think
how disappointing? Keep what up?
Roleplay Boogie the entire podcast, and I'll roleplay you.
Which one of those do you think is harder? Because Boogie has a very distinct personality. He brings a lot of gravitas to any performance that he does. And
did you say he brings a lot of gravity?
Yeah.
You making fat jokes about him?
No. He lost all the weight.
He's not here?
He lost all the weight.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Fair
enough.
Hey, everybody.
Fair enough.
Boogie couldn't make it today. He's off getting actual teeth surgery. He's going to have beautiful new pearly whites for the next episode. But welcome to the 14th episode of the Big Stack Podcast, which is going to be fun jokey jokes and some video game news today. Jacob, do you have any? Maybe
do
on
I have
the
any
jokey jokes or maybe on the video game news?
Jokes? Do you want to just like start off with a question?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Can we?
What do you got?
All right, so we are the Big Breakfast Boys.
The cops aren't down. The cops aren't here. Okay, it's the fucking Wild West on the Big Stack Podcast today. Nobody's tell us what to do.
Police are in somewhere else getting teeth surgery.
Fuck the Boogie police.
Popo Kangaroo asked us, what food do you want to add to the breakfast category? So you got pancakes, you got waffles, you got bacon, you got sausage.
Well, you can eat a lot of things for breakfast.
You can eat anything for breakfast.
So it's hard to make that, like what is in the category, but I think I want to add lasagna.
You're going to add lasagna to
I want to add lasagna, but not just any lasagna. Like a breakfast burrito. I want breakfast lasagna. It has like eggs in there and bacon, maybe some like roasted potatoes on the side, but still with like marinara and cheese. Tell me that doesn't sound delicious. Breakfast lasagna sounds great. Maybe
I would eat it.
Hold the like pancake syrup. That would not be so good on breakfast lasagna. But
not so much.
All your savory breakfast foods could very easily be just, stuffed, folded, if you will, into a tasty lasagna.
That's pretty good.
Add?
I'm gonna add fried rice. It's already got the egg. It's already got the egg in it.
All right.
We already got started there. All right. So for the protein in there, do some like breakfast sausage, maybe some bacon, Nix the peas and carrots. None of that.
Okay, got it.
I don't want those anytime really, much less for breakfast. I'm okay with carrots, but no peas. I don't know. What do you add to the fried rice to make it breakfast instead of the peas and carrots?
I mean, it's already got eggs in there.
Yeah.
So
maybe potatoes?
I think that's where you put the pancake syrup.
Oh, on the fried rice.
Yeah, I think you're going to have the first, sweet rice. Nobody's out there making syrupy rice.
Probably not.
We should stop podcasting and we should start opening restaurants. Hey, Jacob, do you have any good video game news for us?
Oh, boy, do I.
What do you got?
Let's talk about Borderlands 3.
Okay,
so
yeah.
We got a trailer for it.
Yeah, we did.
A little over a week ago. That, showed us more or less that, hey, it's another Borderlands game. And if you like Borderlands things, then you will possibly like this game because it has the things that Borderlands games have in it.
I was disappointed in that trailer. Now, this is, I'm already not I'm not a fan of Borderlands, not because I think it's a bad game, but it's a shooty man game, and I say it all the time. I'm just not really that into them. So take what I have to say with a grain of salt. That being said, as a trailer, it didn't really tell me anything about the game other than we're making a Borderlands game. You will shoot guns in it, and all of your favorite characters are back. Other than that, I know nothing about Borderlands 3. And I feel like if they had just sent me like a JPEG of the Borderlands 3 logo, I could have made all of those assumptions just based on that. I would kind of just assume that, yeah, I'll probably shoot guns and Tiny Tina will probably be around.
Yeah, shoot guns. That's fair.
So that doesn't mean that it's a bad game by any means, but I think it was kind of a weak trailer. It's hard to be that excited about it unless you're just a huge fan of the series, in which case, hype it up. Absolutely, enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what a Borderlands game looks like in 2019, because it's been a while and we have developed that genre quite a bit. The kind of looter shooter game with leveling up and skills and that sort of thing, different characters that you play. That genre's evolved a lot. So I think that if they just put out another Borderlands game, that probably wouldn't be that exciting or interesting. It would be fine. It wouldn't be bad, because Borderlands, the other games aren't bad, so if they just did that again, it wouldn't be that bad.
Right.
But it probably wouldn't be new and exciting and interesting, and I don't think people would talk about it as much as if they do something crazy and innovative.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I imagine it'll fall somewhere in the middle of, they'll do some new stuff and people will like it, or they won't. And then people will kind of talk about that. I don't know that it's going to be a game of the year, but it's too far out to tell, right? Like, we haven't played it.
Who knows?
Some other big news from Borderlands: it will be a Epic Store exclusive for the first 6 months that it is out.
That's quite a long time.
I mean, as far as exclusive windows go, it's on the normal side. That's about how long those exclusive windows are, except when it comes to the Epic Store, where they seem to be indefinite.
Yes.
Or years long with some of their other games that are exclusive to their store.
So I guess this is something that we've talked about before, that a lot of gamers are on a budget, and especially when it comes to games like Borderlands, which is generally, it's not a single player game, but it's not like Destiny that is all about the online zeitgeist of playing with everybody and, being there on launch day. There's usually quite a story to explore. It's possible that people will look at this as an opportunity to buy the game late. We had the professor on not that long ago, and one of the things that he talked about was that's how he approaches games, is he buys everything a year and a half after it's been out, avoiding spoilers as much as he can, and gets everything for half off or even cheaper. And if you absolutely hate the Epic Store and don't want to support them, which we've had a lot of people say that is how they feel about it, maybe this will be a good opportunity to do that. To just buy it late. Now, 6 months might not be enough time for that, but it's possible. Maybe the game will be cheaper by the time it comes out on Steam and other platforms.
That's true. We just wait for a Steam sale after it has come out on Steam.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things that has come from this, the Epic Store exclusivity, is people are pretty upset about that. And Borderlands 1 and 2, and to a certain extent, the pre-sequel, which isn't even developed by Gearbox, on Steam, is getting review bombed with lots and lots and lots of negative reviews.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Most of which specifically reference the Epic Store.
Those games have nothing to do with the Epic Store. Those games are before the Epic Store fucking existed. Now, are you talking about Borderlands 3 getting review bombed, which also does not make sense because no one has played it yet?
Also, you can't review a game that isn't on a platform that allows reviews.
Exactly.
So they don't have the option to express their negative feelings in that specific way. So they are lashing out.
That's so absurd to me.
It's crazy, right?
Like, I get the frustration of I'm upset about this, and I think that we're moving in a poor direction, and I want to be heard, and I want to say things about it. Why the hell would that be your outlet? To just, like, take it out on a random game that has nothing to do with what's going on? I mean, I understand it's still a Borderlands game, but all you're doing is tanking a series that you presumably care about. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I mean, like, also putting all these reviews on a game that is this old, like, the people who like that game and want to play that game probably have already played the game and heard of it and know roughly what it is. It seems like the negative reviews would have little to no impact other than, I guess, us here talking about it now.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe it can only help, right? Maybe people will go back and play Borderlands because they hear about the review bombing rather than just the bad reviews.
Right. Well, I think that
there's got to be a more constructive way to express your dislike of the Epic Store.
Yeah, so Steam has a like a filtration system that kicks in, and I think this is the first game that we've seen it with, where if a game that was previously like mostly positive or all positive suddenly drops to mostly negative all of a sudden, even though like the game's been out for a while or whatever, it filters out the negative reviews and shows people the positive reviews.
Okay.
Based on the review bombing thing, because I think this is becoming a common, which is odd and it seems counterintuitive to me.
Yes, I agree.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I want Borderlands 3 to be a good game.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't necessarily like the way that Epic Store is going about things, but you know, it's not worse than other practices that other stores have.
I don't know. Maybe it's just new bad, and like we're used to
different
the old bad. You know, everybody.
I guess so.
Everybody already hates Uplay. Everybody already hates all of those things. So I understand that. Everybody hates the EA store and so on and so on. Maybe it's just the latest thing, and I don't know. It seems like they're doing some disgusting shit, to be honest.
They are. I'm not trying to deny that they're shady as fuck, but I don't know. It's not that much shadier than other stuff. So maybe it's just we've moved on to pointing out this shady stuff and saying, hey, that's bad, which we absolutely should be doing.
Yeah, you're right.
We should be expressing that the things that they're doing are anti-consumer and bad.
Yeah.
Pretty much overall.
So moving on from how much everybody dislikes the Epic Store, do we have any positive news? Is there any like good games that you're interested in? What do you got? I see that smile.
So at PAX East, they showed off about 20 minutes of Outer Worlds gameplay.
Ooh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's being
I'm very excited about the game.
By Obsidian?
Obsidian.
Yeah.
Yes. So the stuff that they showed looked a little rough, but it looked like a game that's, you know, in development and everything hasn't been kind of smoothed out. They're still figuring all of their stuff out, but they showed off about 20 minutes of gameplay, which was a whole mission, and then some like interactions with NPCs and a couple of weapons that they hadn't shown off before.
Okay, cool.
So the mission that they played looked fun and interesting. It was centered around role playing and not just shoot all the guys that spawned.
That's awesome. That's really
which
cool.
I was into. It was like, you know, speech trees and stuff like that. And it had a resolution that depended on what speech options you picked and stuff like that.
Okay.
That looked really fun. And then after that, they kind of just went back to the town and kind of fucked around for a little while. And they showed off a weapon, which quite possibly is my new favorite weapon in a game.
Okay. All right.
Now,
better than the insect glaive?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna tell you what the weapon is named.
Oh, I'm excited.
And if you want to, I would love for you to guess what you think this weapon does.
Sure, no problem. I got this.
All right. The weapon is called the Mandibular Rearranger. Okay. And if it helps,
Mandibular?
Yes, Mandibular Rearranger. And if it helps, it is a science weapon.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I'm unfamiliar with my mandibulars.
Okay.
I know of the Medulla oblongata because of the movie Waterboy. And I know that these are my mandibles. That's what Boogie's getting fixed, are his, you know, the little stones in his mandibles. But I don't know what my mandibulars are. So I'm just gonna guess that it swaps your mouth around. That's what it does.
Dude, you're not far off.
Oh, wow, okay.
So what it looked like to me, because they didn't like fully explain the science behind what it did. It's like a stick with that kind of looks like a stun baton kind of thing.
Okay.
And he hit somebody with it, and it looked like, you know, whenever you're doing a create a character and you like put all the sliders wherever you want, and then you hit the random button. It looked like a button or a weapon that just randomizes everyone's sliders.
That's awesome. I love the idea that they would play with their like character creation engine in that way. Does it damage the enemy?
So I think it does. It does a little bit of damage, and then it gives them a debuff that will, if you hit them enough with it, freeze them in place.
Okay.
I guess lose control of their body. They didn't go into detail of how it did all of these things. That is kind of were like, here's this thing.
That's an incredibly unique idea. I really like that.
So my favorite part about this is that weapon started as a bug.
Really? Did they talk about that, I guess, at the devs?
Yeah, they mentioned it. They said this was like a bug, and then we just kind of liked how it worked, so we fixed it and made it work in a way that it would be a weapon. And here's the mandibular rearranger now.
I am so happy whenever bugs become features.
Yes, it is the best.
That's so fantastic. I mean, it's like 90% of why Brood War was such a competitive game, because of all the weird fucking bug exploits. It's why speedrunning works.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that stuff. I think that's great.
So yeah, there's like 20 minutes of gameplay of Outer Worlds on YouTube, and I recommend watching it. It was very entertaining and fun. I think it was some of the devs playing in front of or for like a live panel.
Okay.
So I would definitely go check that out, because
that sounds fantastic. That game looks really exciting to me, even if it's not in like my normal genres. And Obsidian is known for being a fantastic game studio.
Yeah, I am super excited about this game. I don't know that we have a release date on it just yet, but hopefully we get it soon, because it looks weird and cool and entertaining.
It looks like weird, honestly, and cool.
It looks like the Fallout game that I want. It looks like what I want Fallout to be.
F's in chat for good old 76.
I have some things that I need to tell you. Some players,
some 76 things,
have discovered the actual secret hidden end game to Fallout 76.
Was the game good all along?
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes.
Oh my god! Okay, guys.
Based on some of this stuff,
Big Stack exclusive, Fallout 76. It turns out is a fantastic game because of what?
I'm gonna read you this headline, and I'll let you. Brahmin experiments are the new in-game activity that players have invented for Fallout 76.
I'm sorry, did you say ramen experiments?
Brahmin?
Oh, Brahmin.
Brahmin. The two-headed cows.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know that the engine allowed for such things, but what kind of experiments are we talking about here?
Well, this all started with a player who was upset about an update that changed the way a town worked.
Well,
so they started messing with the Brahmin ragdoll physics, because it's weird. It's like kind of floaty, so it like, you know, it takes a long time to fall, and it like ragdolls around and twists in weird shapes and stuff like that. So it started off with that, and then it kicked off there, and then another player who makes some Fallout 76 content. I watched a bunch of his videos. He is called a Swift Kick in the Nuts. Oh, sorry.
Wait, that's his name?
A Swift Kick in the Junk. Sorry.
Oh, Swift Kick in the Junk. That's
his
way
YouTube
different.
channel.
Got it.
That's his YouTube channel, and I would go check it out. He makes some like pretty fun videos.
Okay.
He crafted a siege weapon.
I'm sorry. You can make siege weapons in Fallout 76?
You kind of can, yeah.
Okay.
That launches Brahmin.
Oh my god.
Off of a cliff, and they just kind of like ragdoll. And he liked this idea, and it worked well.
I like this idea.
So he built a base that was a big wall with various platforms that were scored. And so you have to launch the Brahmin up onto the board and score points. God.
This is some emergent gameplay, okay? This is like how Defense of the Ancients was made in the Warcraft engine. This is exactly going to be what the next... I mean, I guess it's basically just Angry Birds, but with weird mutant cows.
Yeah.
But I'm calling my shot, okay? This is the next genre of video games, is Brahmin-centric.
Brahmin launching?
Brahmin launching, absolutely.
Someone else, it actually might be the same guy or someone else, I can't remember. They also built a Brahmin disco. That certainly is not...
How does that work?
None of this is obviously safe for the Brahmin, okay? I just want to be clear.
Thousands of Brahmin were harmed in the making of this video.
If you have a problem with Brahmin-based violence, Don't look these videos up.
Or play Fallout.
You can play Fallout without hurting the Brahmin.
Pretty much, but surely the Brahmins just get hurt. I can't imagine that it's easy out there for a cow in the nuclear apocalypse, even if they do have two heads.
So somebody built a base that's a room that has a bunch of like nodes that shock, and filled it with Brahmins. And whenever the Brahmin corpse gets shocked, it kind of like ragdolls and flies through the air.
Well, that seems a little abusive.
I warned you, okay?
That is funny, though. That is quite amusing.
But that's the state of Fallout 76. If you guys are looking for an update, that's the new in-game for Fallout 76, is Brahmin ragdoll physics are funny and good.
When your game is so bad that players are just playing a completely different game inside of it, that's not a good sign as a AAA studio.
Not necessarily, especially whenever your game is a live server, got a roadmap of a bunch of content.
Yeah. That
coming out over the course of the year. I want that game to be good. I want people to have good, fun games that they like.
Yeah.
And if this is the game people want, I'm super happy that they have it.
Sure, absolutely. And maybe this brings the interest up, and people will keep playing it long enough for them to actually do something with it to make it the game that they wanted to originally produce. Because I know that that's one of the things that they've said, is that this is not the finished product that we had in our minds. We want to do better, and I hope that they do.
Yeah,
because it's not looking good.
Yeah,
for the old 76. I have a game that I want to talk about.
Ooh, I'm excited.
It is called A Plague Tale.
Okay.
Innocence. I don't know if that. It's weird for me when a game that is brand new has like a subtitle.
Yeah,
because it implies that it's like the second or third in a series, or even like the first, and maybe this is going to be some kind of episodic thing and they'll come out with more. Either way, it is I don't know how you describe this, basically like an action adventure game.
Okay. That
takes place in some kind of plague infested Europe.
Okay.
And you have you're controlling a teenager. She's got like a younger brother, and you're trying to navigate this really bizarre landscape full of rats that are afraid of light. So you're like constantly like lighting fires and using torches to keep them away from you and stuff. Kind of similar to what we saw in Dishonored with the plague rats.
Oh yeah, okay.
But this has a much different tone. It's a lot more serious. It looks like it's really trying to tell more of a story. And the gameplay itself is more like a puzzle game than anything else, where you have some tools available to you where you're trying to set up these reactions so that like you can move through different rat infested areas. You often kill guys or kill enemies by attacking their lights, and then the rats kind of swarm them and kill them for you. It's pretty grimdark.
Okay.
Visually, it looks fantastic. The sound design looks amazing. That was kind of what originally attracted me to the game, is it has some really cool and unique music. The voice acting is not great. I don't know. There's like one character in the trailer and in the games that just sounds completely desynced from the world, and that's a shame. But who knows, right? The game is not out yet. It comes out, I think, on the 14th of this month. It's being developed by Asobo Studios, and it will be on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So
okay, cool.
You should have, your platform of choice, however you want to play the game. But if you are into these kinds of darker story-driven games, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good example of that. I haven't, seen any reviews for it yet, because like I said, the game's not out, and I don't know if they've had any review copies. But I watched both the trailer and some gameplay, and both of that actually looks pretty cool. It looks pretty fun. So definitely check out A Plague Tale Innocence, coming to you in, about 7 days, I think is when it releases.
Nice.
Yeah, like soon. I said, it's on the 14th.
Cool.
Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. Never mind, it's not. It's on the 14th of a different month.
Oh, no. Whoa, what?
I believe it's month? May 14th. Unless it might have been March. Maybe this game's been out for a fucking month and I'm like way late to the party. I'm going to look like an idiot on the internet. But this is the first that I have heard about it.
This is the first time you've looked like an idiot on the internet.
So, yeah, that's never happened before. Especially not on this podcast. Man, if I just talked about a game that's coming out that came out a fucking month ago, I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Do you have any weird questions or video games? Oh, what do you got to do?
I need to pause this real quick. Sorry.
Oh, sure. Uh-oh. Man, Boogie leaves and everything just goes off the rails, guys. Everything is just falling apart. The house is crumbling around our ears. What are we going to do? Oh, he's back. I guess everything's okay.
I'm sorry about that. I closed the door to my studio to keep my cats out because they're noisy, not realizing that one of them was sleeping in the closet. And so in the middle of talking, he hops out of the closet and is immediately like, all right, I need to fucking get out of here.
That's right.
So
you got
all right. I got.
Do you have any weird questions for us? Or any additional weird questions?
I do.
What do you got?
All right. So, after the apocalypse, let's assume that all of your survival needs are taken care of. All right? You're not worried about that. You're going to be alive.
Sure.
You're going to be fine.
Right. I got my bug out bag.
What are you going to do to unwind? What's your apocalypse activity?
Okay, what kind of apocalypse? Because that changes things, right? If it's a zombie apocalypse, then I'm probably going to unwind by doing something to those zombies. Either, killing them or maybe trying to make some kind of, like, weird zombie disco where I could, like, set them up, do, like, a traveling show, right? But I'm going to have zombie-related hobbies.
Zombie-related hobbies. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, let's assume it's an apocalypse where there are little to no survivors. You are able to go out in the world and do whatever you want by yourself. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Some zombie-based hobbies.
Yeah.
Mess with those guys. I've always wanted to take a car and, like, put it in drive and put a brick on the gas pedal.
Like in several movies.
Drive it into a ravine.
Not with you in it. I just want to throw cars into water, into bodies of water.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
You know what? I'd buy that. That sounds like fun.
I'm honestly, I might like try to learn how to and construct a siege weapon that would maybe launch the cars.
So you just need to do a ramp with the car is what you're trying to do.
I could do that. Yeah. I could do that. Or make like a big old catapult or a trebuchet. To launch maybe cars or motorcycles or the like.
That does sound like quite the project. That sounds like something I want to do to unwind right now. Not to launch cars or motorcycles, but just like building a trebuchet in my backyard sounds pretty entertaining.
Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, they're like perfectly legal.
Trebuchets are legal, like within city limits.
There's no ban on medieval siege weaponry, as far as I know.
Now, if you start launching stuff, you might have some
that
trouble.
Is not allowed. Yes, you can't use it. You can own it. And even then, I think you can use it on your own property, but generally you need a lot of property to launch something out of a trebuchet and then have it, like, whatever it launched land still on your property.
Well, 300 meters, right?
Probably. I mean, maybe for, like, a little trebuchet.
No, trebuchet,
I guess so. 300 meters is pretty far.
Yeah, 300 meters is pretty far.
Yeah.
No. They launch them like 300 meters.
I have one other thing that I want to do in the apocalypse, because I was thinking about, like, what is a common theme in all apocalypses? Apocalypsi? Apox? Whatever. In those things, there's always a fucking random shopping cart. And I guess that's how you know that, like, shit's getting real, is there's a deer in a city and there's a shopping cart where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to make... You remember the opening of Jackass where they're all in the shopping cart and they're just like rolling down stuff?
Cart. Yeah.
I want to make actual tracks for, like, basically shopping cart luge. That's my other plan. Is I want to promote the sport of shopping cart luge, and I want everybody to be in on it. You can mod your shopping carts however you want to, and I will build courses around, the wastelands of our town.
That sounds great. I mean, you don't need to wait for the apocalypse to do that.
Well,
or alternatively, you could wait for the apocalypse, and then instead of a human going down, you just put a zombie in.
That works pretty well. Yeah, then you don't have to worry so much about safety.
Yeah, you just throw them in there. Time to it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, no problem. You don't even need to time to it. It's just how long can you keep your zombie in the thing. So you got to find bigger zombies. How fast can you get them down the hill?
Yep. And they got to stay in the cart.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds like good.
All right, can we talk about Evo a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about Evo.
Fighting games not necessarily your thing, but
I enjoy watching fighting games a lot.
Yeah, especially like competitions and stuff.
Mortal Kombat 11 looking like it's going to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, I'm very excited about Mortal Kombat.
Pretty hype about Mortal Kombat 11.
Are you actually going to play it, or are you just going to watch me?
Oh, I'm going to watch so much of that game and play so little.
It's going to be great. All right, so the Evo 2019 registration, not necessarily the numbers, but the ranking of which games got the most registrations.
Okay, this is people that want to go and play those games at EVO. That's what
they've registered to go enter the tournament.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and taking the #1 spot, which is crazy to me, is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Really?
I was not expecting that.
Wow.
So I think it's due to a number of things.
Okay.
Mainly Melee's not there.
Yeah.
So the Melee players that will play both just signed up under Ultimate.
Sure.
So instead of splitting the player base of Smash from Smash 4 and Melee like it has been previous years, they all got funneled into Ultimate.
Sure, that makes sense. Does it cost money to sign up to play at EVO?
I'm sure it does.
Because I wonder if the fact that like Smash is also a more casual game or has a lot more casual appeal, maybe they just attracted a bigger crowd for that reason. A lot of people really like that game, whereas other games like Street Fighter that are known for being more difficult and more technical, nobody wants to play that at EVO because they know they're just going to get trashed. But maybe enough people just want to go have fun and play Smash. I think it's implied that Street Fighter is not fun.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect storm. It's a similar thing to that. People are not super on Street Fighter V. They don't like it as much. Not that it's a bad game or anything like that, but people seem to not like it as much, even though that one got the 3rd most registrations.
Okay.
The 2nd being Tekken 7.
Oh.
Which I'm very excited to see. I love Tekken 7.
Yeah, you actually play Tekken 7.
If I
remember rightly, you won the last Evo for Tekken 7, or do I have you confused with somebody else?
You got me mixed up with somebody else.
That happens all the time. Sorry about that. Sorry to whoever won the Evo for Tekken 7.
But yeah, then after Street Fighter in 4th for registrations is Mortal Kombat 11. Actually, it's not even out yet.
It will be out by then. Man,
it'll be out by then for sure.
I hope it lives up. Like I hope it is a good game.
I hope it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Also, notably on this list that is not a game that is out yet is Samurai Showdown.
Wow.
It's at EVO with the 7th most registrations. It's not out yet. I think people have played like demo versions of it. Maybe for like review things or something. I don't
just
even
like Mortal
know.
Kombat,
Maybe
right? Like we've played the beta of it at least.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think they've done any betas for Samurai Showdown. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that for a second because it's
that's super exciting though. I'm really interested to see new fighting games at EVO because it means that things like the meta haven't really been figured out yet. Right? Yeah. Nobody knows what everybody's going to bring. Nobody has like strategies prepared or anything like that, or picks and counter picks. That stuff takes time to develop, and it's always really exciting when a game like that is brand new and you just basically see people competing on raw skill alone.
Yeah.
And you might see like breakout characters or breakout players who just have like mastered being extremely good at something, or figured out that one character, like, they were in the tank harder, they did more research, and they figured out that this character has an amazing matchup against the field. That's always really fun. It's like the first time a game has shown up at EVO or been played professionally or competitively, I'm way in for that. I love it, even when it's not a genre that I'm particularly interested in.
Yeah. You gonna watch EVO with me this year?
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Nice. That's
do a big old EVO watch party.
I'm excited about that. All right, so earlier you mentioned a game that you were really excited about. I want to talk about a game that I'm very excited about.
Yeah, what do you got coming up?
Anyone out there is been paying attention to? Cyanide Studio is developing a Paranoia CRPG.
Okay, what does CRPG mean?
The C stands for computer. It just means like a game like Baldur's Gate. That's like kind of the top down.
Okay, got it. Yeah, classic
adventure.
RPG.
Yeah, classic RPG. So Paranoia is a property that I really love.
Okay.
It's a tabletop RPG that is set in a utopian future where everyone lives in a big complex to protect them from the outside world. and the complex is run by your best friend, the computer. And there's a big AI that keeps the entire thing running and keeps everyone happy and healthy and well put together. Obviously things are not as utopian as you would hope.
Okay. It sounds intriguing. It sounds like a cool world.
It's a very cool world. So as I grew up playing the tabletop RPG game of this, and the premise of the tabletop RPG, which I imagine will be what the video game is the game starts with you being promoted up one clearance level from ultraviolet, infrared? Yeah, infrared, sorry. Infrared, which is basically the people who kind of hang out and make sure all the vending machines work, or that the trash can
lowest of the low
properly. You get promoted up one clearance level to red clearance, which gives you the new duties of troubleshooter, which means that you find trouble and you shoot it.
That's clever. I like that. This sounds really cool. I'm really interested in this. I have tried many times to get into classic RPGs like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, and I have a harder time with it, but I think that's probably just because they're older, and I should probably try some of the newer ones. I know people really like Divinity, and there was another one that came out recently.
Tyranny is another one.
Yeah, and Pillars of Eternity.
Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah. So I should probably give some of those a shot because I love RPGs and I love good storytelling, and from what I've heard, these games all have fantastic storytelling, and hopefully Paranoia will continue to do that.
Yeah, so Cyanide Studio has mostly developed smaller games, which I imagine this will also be a smaller game. I don't know that this is on everybody's radar, but they did like the Blood Bowl games and Styx, that like third-person kind of action stealthy game.
Yeah, I remember Styx. You're like a weird goblin guy. Yeah. That game looked gross. Not like a bad game, just like gross. Visually gross.
So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to expect from this game, but it's coming out this year on consoles and PC, and I want to like these style of games, but they're always fantasy based, and fantasy is not like really my thing. I'm way more into sci-fi and stuff. Yeah, and this is built on a property that I grew up loving, and living in that world and having a blast. So I'm very excited about this game. It's Paranoia. I think it's just called Paranoia. Maybe Happiness is Mandatory. Paranoia Happiness is Mandatory, because that's one of the names of one of the books.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it has that like tongue-in-cheek kind of sense of humor about everything.
Yes.
Kind of similar to BioShock, though BioShock very quickly devolves from that into being more of a horror story than anything else.
Sure.
But this sounds like it kind of remains a little lighthearted, which sounds nice. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's definitely kind of the aim of the traditional RPG, and the trailer that I watched for the Happiness is Mandatory game had a similar tone.
Cool.
Of obviously nothing is as it seems. So I'm very excited about that.
No, that sounds fantastic. I have a little bit of video game news for you, which I know is rare for me. I don't have too much usually, but this really stuck out at me. Jacob, how much do you keep up with the Royals? And by that I mean the English Royals.
Not the baseball team.
Not the base. Is there? I didn't even know there was a baseball team.
Kansas City.
And not the Battle Royales. The English Royals. When was the last time you read about
Cheeseburger Royale?
Yeah.
Not a Cheeseburger Royale.
No, that's not what you're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about specifically Prince Harry. And
I do not keep up with that at all. So you're gonna have to fill me in on that.
You're gonna need to start, because Prince Harry is moving to ban Fortnite.
Hold on.
Now you'd think that it really wouldn't even be on his radar. It seems like a strange thing for him to care about, but
is he banning it from the castle that he lives in?
No, he wants he wants to ban it in the country.
Okay.
Now, he's a royal, doesn't actually have any power to do so. Want to be very clear on that, right? This is not something that is ever going to happen, but it is a thing that he said. And it is a wild thing that he said.
Now, what...
The direct quote
Okay, yeah, give me the direct quote.
That game shouldn't be allowed. Where is the benefit of having it in your household? It's more addictive than alcohol and drugs.
Oh.
Now, I can't say I disagree with the first half. Sorry to people that love Fortnite. I'm just doing a light roast. The second half, I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe, right? We've heard the Reefer Madness horror stories about video game addiction several times. There was a dude in Korea who did die playing StarCraft for like 6 days straight because he forgot to eat and drink.
Okay, yeah,
but,
I do remember that happening.
That happened one time, and I feel like a lot more people are in hospital and having problems with drug and alcohol addiction than with video game addiction, especially Fortnite addiction. But I haven't seen the numbers. I haven't seen the stats.
I'll call the local hospital right now and see. So what prompted him to say this? Was he just like, did he call a newspaper up or like shoot him an email like, hey, fuck Fortnite? I
don't know. I know. Okay, so
was he in an interview?
In 2018, he told a group of young British students that they shouldn't play Fortnite at their age, which is weird because that's the only age that anyone plays Fortnite.
Pretty much, yeah. Huh.
I don't know, because in the past he said like, yeah, I play Xbox. He's the cool prince, I guess. This is also weird because like we're Americans and we know fucking nothing about like what it's English royalty or anything like that. But yeah, he has in the past come out kind of like in defense of video games and said that that's a thing that he does and that he enjoys. But I don't know, Fortnite showed up on his radar and he is on a crusade to stop it.
That's a weird move on his part.
It's a strange decision, and I'm really surprised.
I guess it's not that strange of a decision if you can't, like, be voted out of being prince. If you got, like, nothing on the line, you're just like, I'm gonna pick this thing that I think is bad, and everyone else is, like, kind of on the fence about, or a lot of people are on the fence about. I know a lot of people love Fortnite, and that's fine. But I don't know, Fortnite seems like one of those things that you could like pretty easily convince a parent of a household that is bad.
Yeah, I guess
and then make yourself look good to these parents.
Young
now,
Johnny,
to what end?
He's always on the computer.
He's always on the computer games. He won't stop playing his Nintendos.
But it is strange to me that he would single out Fortnite, other than the fact that, I mean, like, Fortnite is got to be, like, the most played game now, or one of the most played games. It's easily in the top 5 of most popular video games. And I mean, maybe he just hasn't heard of Apex Legends yet.
Sure, right? Or, maybe he just picked the one that's in the zeitgeist the most because he knew it would be easy to point at it to parents and say, like, that's the bad one.
That's the one. We don't like that one. But it's really odd to be choosing that, other than, I guess, he just doesn't like how many people play it, because plenty of people have attacked other games like Mortal Kombat for being overly violent or overly sexual. Rockstar games constantly get those kinds of criticisms. But to lobby it at Fortnite that has made a brand of like, no, we're a kid-friendly game, we don't allow any of that kind of stuff here, I guess he just doesn't like how popular it is.
Maybe.
I'm not trying to rush to the defense of Fortnite, but it is a strange move on his part.
It's fine, I'll defend Fortnite.
To call that out.
Fortnite's a fine game. A lot of people don't like it. That's okay. That's nothing wrong with not liking it. A lot of people like that game. Great. I have plenty of video games that I love that other people don't like.
Oh, yeah? You got any video game news for a game that you love that other people don't?
No, I don't. I mean, the thing is like, I said that, but actually a lot of people like the games I like.
Yeah.
Because my news about Rainbow Six Siege is they had a very, very good April Fool's event.
Oh, that's right.
Literally no joke. They actually did it in the game, and it's great, and it's still live for tonight and tomorrow, and everybody should go. If you like Rainbow Six Siege, go play that April Fool's event, because holy shit, is it great.
What did they do?
Well, they, I think it's called Everything is Magic, and they reskinned a map. The
Rainbow Six doesn't have any magic in it, as far as I understand.
Zero. I mean, science is kind of magic.
Uh-huh.
But even then, they don't really have science. Somebody makes holograms. They don't really explain how they make holograms, but they do make holograms. So they gave some of the tougher operators, stereotypically less tough skins if you would like to be Tachanka and be very pink and have a big unicorn horn on your head.
Yeah, I do.
Please
That's
do.
the only way I want to play our Lord and Savior Tachanka.
It's fantastic. All of your guns shoot confetti. Whenever you shoot a wall, normally your bullets would leave a little bullet hole. Instead, they leave a little star-shaped sticker.
Oh, that's adorable! I love this. This is fantastic.
The game mode is called VIP Bear, I think, and it is a very important plushie. So it's a take on the hostage game mode, where the attackers are trying to go in to where the defenders are, take a hostage and escape with them without the hostage getting hurt or themselves getting hurt. But it's a guy in a bear costume.
Oh, it's not even a stuffed bear. It's a guy in a bear costume.
It's a guy in a bear costume.
And he dances?
He kind of dances and says hi and he has voice lines. They changed all of the voice lines for the announcer to a female voice, and it sounds like narration on a kid's cartoon.
This is wonderful.
They did so much work on this thing that all of the cosmetics that you get, there's cosmetics for 4 operators, and then there are a whole bunch of weapon skins and weapon charms. It's kind of expensive to get all of them. It's a lottery out of a pack, lottery system out of packs, but you can't get duplicates. So if you just buy enough packs, one pack,
you are guaranteed to get them all eventually.
You are guaranteed to get all of them, and there's an upper limit of how much you spend, but that upper limit is, I think, $30-ish, which is expensive.
That's a lot, but I mean, depending on how much content and how many skins you're getting, that seems pretty reasonable to me.
So you get a pretty good amount of these skins and stuff. The other thing is it takes time and effort and money to produce big events like this, and this isn't the first time they've done something like this. Around Halloween, they did a haunted house event where they reskinned the house map, cool. And they made it all spooky, and then they made scary skins, and then you play a special game mode. They do a bunch of work about every 3 to 4 months on this kind of thing. I'm perfectly willing to spend a little bit on overpriced cosmetics to guarantee that I get one of those events every 3 to 4 months, because they're so much fun.
That's fantastic.
A blast.
I love this. Yeah, and so, absolutely. You should support it when game developers do things that you like.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I am the proud owner of a Tachanka unicorn horn. That now I just have more reason to try and force picking Tachanka on defense.
Every single time. If you could play him on attack, you would.
They're actually going to rework Tachanka. I know nobody cares about this. They're going to... that's one of the things that they talked about, is everyone embraced Tachanka so much that his gameplay style doesn't fit with what the game is, and they didn't realize it whenever they were setting out and developing all of the operators at the very beginning of the game. So they want to make him fit more in line with how all the other operators work, but they do not want to change him or his personality or what people love about him. That's why he stayed the same for so long, and they're just he's never going to get picked competitively, but everybody loves him, so I guess that's what he is.
I like that a lot. I think it's great when developers are able to hone in on the things that people like about their game and make changes that hopefully make the game better without removing or retracting any of those things. I think that's fantastic.
Sure. And in interviews, developers have specifically said one operator is always going to be the worst. Right? And if everyone loves the worst one because they're the worst one, that's fine. Right? That's got to be okay.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
that's a good thing.
Somebody's going to be the worst.
Yeah.
Might as well have someone be the worst because the way he is, and everybody loves that about them.
Yeah, totally. I 100% agree with that.
Do we want to do another viewer question?
Yeah.
This one's a little more serious.
Okay, you got a wrap-up question for us?
Yeah. We'll wrap up on this one. This is from Colin. This was from last week, but I sandbagged it because I really liked it. What game did you play that made you feel the most stupid? Just the dumbest.
God, it's every time I play. I'm a fucking idiot.
I will go first because I have a very specific one that I honed in on.
Okay.
Of all of the puzzle games that I've played, of all these other things that I just couldn't figure out, nothing has made me feel dumber than Artifact.
Oh, really?
Because I went into Artifact going, I play a lot of card games. I know how to play card games. I've played specifically Richard Garfield card games. Yeah. I know what to expect. This game is too hard. This game is too fucking hard. I cannot keep track of. That game made me feel more dumb. And it's mostly because I went into it saying, no, I'm smart. I'm a smart person. I know how to play card games. And then I got there and went, oh, I do not know how to play card games.
I think... Okay, this is also going to be a slight story, right? Dark Souls 1 is the game that made me feel the most dumb, because I knew what I was getting into, right? I was like, I know this game's going to be hard. I psyched myself up to die a bunch, okay? I was like, it's going to be fine. I'm not going to have a problem. I will be cool with it. No problem. There's a door in Dark Souls that I could not for the life of me figure out how to open. I was like backtracking. I was like, okay, I guess I can't go to this area yet. And backtracking in Dark Souls fucking sucks because you have to fight through just a million skeletons that are all boss monsters. And I'm wandering around, not good at the game, just trying my level best to figure out where the switch is or the lever that I need to pull. I'm like making a diary like I did in Myst, trying to figure out, okay, I've been through here and I did that and I'm pretty sure that did that. And they wouldn't make something that just like unlocks or locks me out of an area, right? It's not like a path system. You had to walk up to that door and press A.
Ellis.
That's what you had to do.
Did you not?
You had to walk up to the door and input the same fucking command that you input to interact with everything in the single game. In my defense, I walked up to that door and I must have just like hit it from a weird angle or something like that. Didn't see the prompt and immediately walked away from it. Never tried it again.
All right.
I had to look it up on the internet. Yeah. But I couldn't find anything. Because
of course not.
Why would somebody post something about this impossible puzzle to solve? Eventually, I just found a guy doing a playthrough and skipped to that part in the video and just watched him walk up to it, push A, and go in the door. Look, it was my first Dark Souls game, okay? I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first Dark Souls game, and I'm a goddamn idiot.
You had to open doors.
And I don't know how to just push A. I don't know how to just play a video game like you play every fucking video game that's ever existed. Dark
Souls games are hard, okay, Ellis?
Yeah, Dark Souls games are hard. They're artificially hard when you can't figure out how to open doors. That's not the part of the game that's supposed to be hard. But to be fair, that's my fault. I don't think they intended for that to be a puzzle or a challenge.
A little bit on From Software.
Yeah,
little bit on.
I'm gonna blame From Software for that one.
Well, no, a little bit. Also, a little bit you.
So look, I'm bad at Dark Souls, but not the part that everybody else is. I'm amazing at just killing boss. I'm speed running. I'm so close to the world record, but man, give me a door that you have to push A on, and I am stumped.
All right. So, thank you everybody for listening. This has been the Big Stack Podcast. We are the Big Breakfast Boys.
That's right.
Normally, Boogie 298 is here.
Mm-hmm. This is the short stack, the half stack.
The half stack. We're missing 1/3.
Right.
Of the stack.
But
so this is a half stack.
You know, he's bigger in presence. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
That's true. So, if you liked what you heard here today, please head over to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/thebigstackpodcast. And check that out. Thank you so much to all of the donors that we have there already. Mm-hmm. We really appreciate your contribution. We love doing the show, and that keeps us going.
Yes, it does.
So Boogie was out this week. He was getting some dental work done. He should be back next week with some sweet new pearly whites. But we do wish him a happy and speedy recovery. Hopefully it's not too bad. Dental stuff sounds scary to me, and I hope that he is doing okay.
Yeah, he went for the breast augmentation at the same time, though, so he might be out of commission for a little while.
Are they putting breast on his teeth?
Yeah, he's going to have big old titty boobs.
In his mouth?
Right in his mouth. But, you know, like facing out.
Is it one individual one per tooth, or is it just two big ones going out?
It's one long tit, Jacob.